Alright guys, welcome to our next tutorial. Today we shall be talking about accuracy, which is an aspect in information retrieval and text mining. It's one of the parameters that are used to measure uh, to compare uh, information retrieval, classifiers, predictive algorithm. So in our last tutorial we mentioned recall and precision. You want to go through our channel and see those tutorial lessons, but today we want to focus on accuracy. So how do we calculate accuracy? So we'll be making use of the same document collection that we used in the previous tutorial. Now, just as a brief reminder, you see we have in our collection 5 documents, and there are just 2 documents that are relevant to the word Java. So we know that there are 2, and there are document 1 and document 3, and so that is our expected result, that is the actual result, and this is the relevant document. But our IR system or the predictive classifier or predictive analysis or predictive algorithm that we develop or could be developed or we are testing, we pass as input Java. Then in this case the IR system returns the following document as being relevant as the result. So we want to calculate the accuracy of this IR system, because we can have another IR system that returns another set, maybe returns only document 1, or we have another IR system that returns only document 4 and 5. So to be able to compare the performance of different IR systems, one of the criteria that is used aside from recall and precision is an accuracy. So let's go through how to calculate accuracy. Here I've created a table for us and show us how to get the accuracy. You may want to close this and do it yourself first before we go through the solution steps one after the other. Now you see in this table we have the actual state. The actual state is that, which is our human annotation judgment, which is the actual result that we expect. Okay, so we expect that it can be either that the document is relevant or that it is not relevant. Sometimes you can say positive or negative. It's just the same concept. Now these are our IR prediction. The IR system can predict that the document is not relevant, or it can predict that the document is relevant. You can also say that this is predicted negative, predicted positive. It's just the same concept. So in this place, so here we have the IR system is saying that this column represents those that are predicted non-relevant. So, and this row represents the actual relevance. So we look at the column and the row. So here there's an intersection. So here in this box is saying that okay, anything here is the intersection of relevant, actual relevant, and predicted non-relevant. So this is saying that the IR system is saying here is non-relevant, and the actual system is saying it is relevant. So in this cell is the IR system is saying it is non-relevant, and the actual human judgment is also saying it is non-relevant. Here the IR system is saying it is relevant, and the actual system, the woman annotation, is also saying it's relevant. And while here the IR system is saying it is relevant, however the woman annotation is saying it is non-relevant. So how this is depicted is this is false and negative, because here the IR system is saying it is non-relevant, but we are saying that it is relevant. That means the judgment that we have here is actually supposed to be positive, but the IR system says it is non-relevant. So we call this a false negative. That is what the IR system tells us is false. So this is referred to as false negative. Here the IR system says it is non-relevant, and we too say it's not relevant, so there is a match. So we call this true negative, that it is true negative. And here the IR system is saying it's relevant, and we are also saying it's relevant, so we say this one is truly positive. So this is referred to as true positive. Here the IR system is saying it is relevant, but we are saying that it is not relevant. So that means what the IR system is saying is false, so we say this is false positive. I hope you understand that. So let's now look at how we generate these numbers. So here we look at our system. We start from the easiest one, which is the true positive and true negative. So we look at the IR system. How many of the documents are actually relevant? So the IR system says some documents are relevant. So how many of them are actually relevant? So we are looking at a match. So this is our actual relevance, this is the predicted relevance. So how many intersects do we have here? So the intersection that we have is just one. So document 1 is relevant in our actual judgment, and document 1 is also present in our predicted judgment. So the number of true positive is 1. Then we look at true negative. Now true negative are the ones that are not relevant, and actually they were not returned. The ones that are not relevant and they are actually not returned. So we check here that the documents that are not relevant to the word Java, they are document 2, document 4, document 5. Alright, so we check here, is document 2 not returned in IR system? Oh, it is returned, so we cannot count it. Is document 4 not returned? Mind the word not returned in the IR system. We see that it is returned, so we don't count it. Is document 5 not returned in the IR system? We see that it is returned, so we don't count it. So we don't have anything to count for that, so that is why we have 0. You need to be very, very careful about calculating true negative. True negative means those that are not relevant and are not returned. They are not relevant and we don't expect them to be returned. So it's actually being able to avoid, like avoiding noise or avoiding error. How well is the IR system able to avoid the unnecessary? So it's a plus to the IR system if it is able to avoid unnecessary returns. It's just like just as simple as that. So you need to get that clearly. So let's now look at the false positive. Now the false positive is actually saying that those that are relevant, those that the IR system, the false positive is saying those that the IR system says are relevant, but in the actual sense they are not relevant. So that is a false. that is a minus. So how many in the document is the IR system saying is relevant, but actually we know they are not relevant. So if you check here, the IR system gave us 4 documents. Out of those 4 documents, is only document 1 that is relevant. The other ones are not relevant to the results. The other one, document 2, document 4, they are not relevant. So they are false positive, they are false returned. So these 3 documents are false positive, so they are not supposed to return, but they were returned. So these 3 documents are false positive. So that is why we have 3 here. Now we look at the false negative. So the false negative are actually in our document collection. How many of them are actually supposed to be returned by the IR system, but they were not returned by the IR system? It's very tricky, and you need to do a lot of practice to be able to get this sync. So how many of them are actually, don't forget we are considering false negative. So how many of them are actually supposed to be returned, but they were not returned? So we expect that document 1 and document 3 are supposed to be returned. So is document 1 returned? Yes. Okay. But document 3, is it returned? No. Document 3 is supposed to be in the answer set of the IR system, but it is not returned. So that is a false negative. So that is why we have 1 there. I need you to look at it very well. It's very trickish, but you can get it if you pay attention and do a little bit of practice. So that is how we get all these values. You can go through the tutorial a number of times, and so that you can understand this very well. So now to calculate our accuracy, the accuracy is very easy to calculate after we have been able to generate that figure. So there is a simple formula to calculate accuracy. So to calculate accuracy, all we just need to do is, our accuracy is a simple formula here, and accuracy is equal to the total number of positive plus the total number of true negative, true positive and true negative. Then we divide that. So we divide that by either you say the total number of documents, or you can say divided by the total number of true positive plus true negative plus false positive plus false negative. So that's just the way it is, the formula for calculating our accuracy. Or instead of saying all of these, you can just say the total number of documents. Any one of them will work. So we just put into our formula and we can see. So the true positive, we have 1, and the true negative, we have 0. So then we divide that just by the total number of documents that we have in our collections. As you can see, we have 5 documents, and if we also do the addition, you see that we have 5. So that is how we get this answer. So the accuracy of this system is 20%, which is 1/5. So thank you very much for listening to this tutorial. If you benefit anything from this tutorial, you can encourage us by giving us a like. If you are not happy with the tutorial, you can give us a dislike. You can also make a comment. All this will help us to be able to improve on our subsequent tutorial. Thank you, and see you in the next